to, like the other day.
So the other day we were driving. Oh, Monday. I haven't talked about this yet. On Monday, my son and I were talking about. He was reading a book.
Yeah, he was reading a little Watchmen-y thing.
And he asked, gosh, what was the question?
Oh, in Watchmen, it was talking about how the flesh is flesh. And so Cameron had posed the question of like, well, why doesn't God just get rid of the flesh?
Like, why can't he just get rid of it? So that we don't have to worry about it anymore.
And I responded like, Cameron, that's a really good question. Like, let's just ask the Lord, like, Lord,
what's that about? Because I didn't have a really good response. And I was like, we started talking about his character and his nature and the relationship that he has with us. And all good conversation. But I
didn't really have an answer for him.
And then we're in the car driving back from dance class. No, was it? To dance class. And I mention it to Nancy, and she goes, I didn't even finish the sentence, and you go, well, he did. Jesus.
He did already. Jesus died. Crucified the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, Cameron.
But there was the moment where you said that, and I went, well, that's a duh. Like, yeah, Angie, Jesus. Why didn't that come to my mind? Like, why, when Cameron asked me, I went to, well, let's discuss for a little bit. What's he like, and why doesn't he just get rid of stuff for us and things? I started going that way. When the truth is, he did free us from flesh. He did get rid of flesh by crucifying it on the cross. And we are free from it now. That did not come to mind. And I recognized that I was just using, because this is what the Lord was revealing in me, is that over the last while, but recently, I've been much more focused on earthly things. Just my job and the stuff that I have to get through in the day. It's just a very full and busy day, and so what do I have to do next? And now I've got to go here, and then I have to do that, and that's where my focus hasn't been on heavenly things, heavenly perspective. It's been on earthly things and what I have to get done throughout the day. Yeah. And so when a question was presented to me about spiritual things, I gave human reasoning. I gave an earthly response. Well, let's reason together. Let's think together about this. And, and not like they were bad answers, but it wasn't the right answer. It wasn't the truth. And so here now, one, that was a check for my spirit to go, wow. I couldn't even respond with Jesus. Foundational, like, Jesus died on the cross too. Basic stuff, like, why am I a Christian? But now here we're talking about poisoning the mind. We're reading Acts 14:2. The Jews who did not believe stirred up the other Gentiles and poisoned their minds against the brothers. That's the verse. And what I was asking is, like, let's think about it for a second, what it is to poison the mind. What language, what kind of would one use? What would you say? What are types of things that you would say to poison the mind, let's actually think about this, because we need to be aware of the words that we speak. So we're talking about gossip and doubt and
Just
negative thinking. Yeah, just bad attitudes about stuff. But when it comes down to, it's like human reasoning, human thinking.
Yeah.
It sounds good, and it sounds smart. It sounds like wisdom, but it's not the truth. And so, to reason these questions, I'm just thinking about Cameron asking about the flesh. He asked a good question, and the truth is amazing. You know, like, why doesn't he just get rid of the flesh so we don't have to worry about it? The truth is, he did get rid of the flesh, and we don't have to worry about it. When we're in relationship with him, like, our sin nature is crucified, our flesh is crucified, and we have new life. Like, that's amazing. But what was my response? Karen, that's a good question. Let's talk about it. He doesn't just do things for us. We're in relationship with him, and it sounds good, but there's not power in that. There's not the truth empowers, and frees us and brings life. My response was just like, let's be smart about it. Let's have conversation that makes us feel intelligent, and like, we can debate and discuss what's going on, but the simple truth is powerful. And so a poisoning of the mind can be as simple as human reasoning. Not going to the Word to find His truth and to minister truth.
Well, and I think our natural tendency is to go back to works, is what you're doing.
Okay, yeah.
The flesh tries to work. And Jesus says, no, I fulfilled all of the work that needed to be done. Now receive it.
Yeah.
And surrender. And receive, the work that's been accomplished for us.
Yeah.
And we see that the works is tied to a curse. So.
Yeah. So,
It's good wisdom.
there you have it.